Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how you can grab a simple MIDI file. Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how you can grab a simple MIDI file and create your own cover of the popular songs from the popular artists. So in this video I already have a song from Michael Jackson called Billie Jean, and I went to this website here, to the midiworld.com, and I just searched for Billie Jean, Michael Jackson, and I downloaded the file. When you do this, you go here, download, and you will have Michael Jackson Billie Jean.mid. This is a MIDI file, and if you see, it's only 54 kilobytes, which is a very small file. You can go ahead and save it. I already have. And here I will show you what you will have when you download this file. So let's go here, MIDI World. Okay, so when you download, you will have this file here, and what I have here, it's a little bit complicated, but I will open up a new pattern. And if you let me go to here, maybe like this, it's a little bit more organized. So, or maybe I can create a new group and called this one MIDI. And if I just grab this one here and import to FL Studio, we will be prompted with this menu, so that we can now choose whatever we want. If we go ahead and use or import all tracks and accept, you will see that you will have a MIDI file, or all the MIDI information in one single file. And this is not what we want, because this is very hard to manipulate, and it's not very easy to create your own variations with only this file like this. And so what we can do is, let's delete this. And now what we are going to do is import this file again. And instead of doing all tracks, I will just select track 1 and accept. And if we go now here, you will see that we have now less MIDI information. And this is only of one instrument. So let's say that we have, let me check how many tracks we have here. We have 8 tracks, meaning that we have 8 instruments. And now we can go ahead and do track 2. And if we go now here, we now see that we only have these notes to work with, which is very easier to work. And let's go ahead, and you have to do this for all tracks. 3 and track 4, and so on and so forth. And I will delete these ones because I already have these tracks here, and I will show you here, and also delete this group. And what I have here is I loaded the different 8 tracks and I renamed them. For instance, track 8, let me show you, had all this information here. And what I did was to start rearranging this information. In this case, I loaded this plugin, which is free, and you can download for free, which is a nice okay, like this, which is a plugin with a drum kit basically. And what I did was to copy all the MIDI information that I wanted, copy it to this plugin. Normally you will not have to need, or you will not need to move stuff around, because some of the instruments here, for example, we had here the kick like this, and we had the snare in these ones, so you will not have to rearrange anything because they will fit in the orientation of these the instruments like this. So if we go to a more full area like this here, if we just listen to this one here, let me solo this one. Then, as you can see, I removed the snares and the kicks, so we will only listen to the cymbals and the toms. As you can see, I didn't touch these ones here. So, and now I started to add my own kick and my own snare, and also tambourines. So this is the loop of the Billie Jean track. And if we go now here, I will not play everything because I'm not the owner of the track, and I don't want to be flagged by YouTube. But I will have a link in the description that you can download this track for free and use it doing for your own covers and for whatever you want to do, or to use this track. And also you can listen to the full track in the link in the description. So let's listen. This is the drum loop, and I will unsolo here the sounds. I can now close the browser, and this is the drums. And then what I did was to send the each individual okay, so let me just solo this. I send each individual element of the drums to the mixer, and then I routed all these channels to a group channel called drums, which is this one here. And if I delete like this, you will, or if I solo on mute this track, you will not listen anything. And now you are listening. And for the drums, I didn't apply any EQ or any compression or any effect here. The drums are as is, and they only have a little bit of panning and of course leveling. Okay, and the drums are pretty much like this for the full track. Here this is a more busy section. In future tracks I will do the full process. For now you will only listen to this. So the next step was to make the bass line, and for the bass line I chose two different instruments, and I loaded 3x OS, and what I did was to put the first oscillator in a square wave and at 24 in the chord pitch at 24. The second one was to, in this shape here that I don't know the name, square-ish shape maybe, and the chord pitch at 12, and I left the third oscillator in a sine wave at 0. And then I send it to the channel 8, which is this one here, and it's very, very low. And I have a low pass filter or a band pass filter, very, very steep curves. And let's listen to this sound, which gives a nice low presence in the synth. And then I added a GMS, and I started to messing around with the presets and with the octaves. And here in the GMS, what I did, as you can see, is more higher. I have more higher harmonics or higher frequency content. And what I did here was to roll off some of the low frequencies and also some of the top frequencies. If I mute this effect, you will see that it's more broad. But in conjunction with this space here, it works really well in the mix. So let's see here a different part. And now listen with the drums. As you can see, very nice combination with the drums and the bass. And as you can see, I didn't add any crazy effects here, only some EQ, and here in the synth some EQ, also in some reverb to the synth. And let's go now to the next one. The next one was the strings. And here you have to choose which kind of instrument you want in the different channels. So let's say the first one was of course the drums, and in that one it's obvious that you have to add drums to that track, but you can choose which kind of drums you want. So you can create a very nice cover, very specific to your style. So you can now just use this track and, for instance, create a more speed up the tempo or slow down, or make more EDM drums or more jazzy drums, you know. And also in the bass you can select what kind of bass you want, if you want a more slap bass or more heavy bass. And for these ones here, it's obvious that you have to go with drums and the bass, but for the next ones you can swap, for instance, a guitar with a piano and vice versa, and you have more freedom to choose which kind of instrument you want in that specific track. And that's why it's nice to make covers like this, because you can select and make the cover with your signature, and it's quite nice. So in the next one here I choose strings, so let's listen to some of the strings. Also I follow the concept of the original song, and I thought it was strings here, so I just use it. So let's unmute here. Oh, actually this is a piano. Sorry about that. This is piano. I thought it was strings, but no, this is piano. And I think in the original song there is no piano. At least I just reference it, and I think there was no piano, but maybe I'm wrong. But I like the piano combination here. As you can see, you can add your own flavor to the song or to the cover, and create your own style inside of that specific cover. And here in the piano I just add some reverb and a little bit of panning, and if I put everything, it works really well. Now let's go here, and again you can use whatever sound. You can use whatever sound you want. So let's see which one I used. I used the expand. Where is it? It's here. Sorry, I have two screens. I used this instrument expand with a piano med hard layer, which is a nice piano, and as you can listen, it sits very well in the overall melody. Okay, so let's go now to the next one. The next one is guitar, and here I made my my mind, because there is some guitar here. I think this one was a synthesizer of sorts. I don't know which kind was, but I really liked how the guitar would sound here in these small licks, that I choose guitar. But here in the beginning we have very let me show you, very low notes in C2 range, and I didn't like it. Let's listen. And if you listen the original song, you will see or listen these notes here, and I didn't like that too much in this particular mix, so I just removed this, and there is no, those notes are not in my final mix. And here let me check again. Okay, I think I made this wrong, because these are strings and it's not supposed to be strings. So let's see. It's supposed to be this one here, the clean LP. Yeah. It's supposed to be only the guitar, as you can see. Very nice. There is here, this part is, I think it it's very well with the guitar. Okay, and now these parts here. Very nice. That's why I choose the guitar here. And let's see what I did here in the guitar. Just reverb and some delay. Nothing too fancy, and also I panned it more to the right. And now let me see if I have this one here. Yeah, so I want to delete this one here, because I just wanted these ones with a guitar. That was my mistake here. So let's go. And now we have the strings, and for the strings I use this Sonyvox plugin, which has some nice strings. And for the strings I just added some reverb, and as you can see, some panning to this side, to the left. And let's listen now to the strings. It's a more complex arrangement, but it's quite nice. Especially here, over here, in these parts. Let me put this with the guitar. As you can see, the guitar gives a nice mood. Fits really well in the mix. Okay, and now we have another guitar. This one was electric guitar, and now this one is acoustic guitar. Again, you can choose which kind of sound you want, or whatever instrument you want to put in the track. I choose guitar because I think, or I felt, it was really nice here. because of this I don't know how to call it, but this part here, which is really fast, and also this one here. And the guitar that I used was from Sample Tank, sorry, and it was finger 2. And in terms of treatment or effects, I just added a little bit of reverb, and that's it. As you can see, my mix are very simplistic. I don't do a lot of stuff in the mixing. I think less is more, so I don't want to over mix it. And also because this is not recorded sounds, these are sounds from plugins, which require much less work. So if I had recorded a guitar, in that case, I would add more effects, maybe some EQing and some compression. But in this case, I don't feel the need to do that. That's why my mixes are very clean, and they don't have too much effect going on. So next up is electric piano that I added. So let's listen first with the guitar, and maybe this part here. You will listen that the guitar, it's more to the left because I panned it to the left. Okay, and now I added a electric piano here. In this part here, I went to reference the original track, and I didn't find any instrument that I think there was a synth here, but I'm not sure. I used the electric piano because I thought it would give a nice ambient to the song. So let's listen with everything. And the electric piano, I only had a small reverb, so nothing too fancy. As you can see, it fits really well. It gives a very nice, a different mood to the song, and I think it gives a mysterious part here. And then the final was a little bit harder to choose, and I went with some brass because this is the main melody that sets the mood of the song, and you remember, of course, the song, but the vocals follow this main melody, and it was hard to choose which kind of instrument I wanted here, so I went with some brass. I again used Expand 2, and I used a soft clarinet, and I used hard tenor sax. And you can see here the clarinet, I only had it a little bit of reverb, and in the sax also, and I panned one right and one to the left, and this is what I had. Or as you can see, this is the part that we would sing with. So this melody follows the song. So I didn't want to add a piano, or I think a guitar would be okay also here, but I like the sax here because it fits really well and gives a more, I don't know, jazzy vibe. So let's listen. So let's go here to this part here. You can start singing the song in your head, and as you can see, this is a more modern version of Billie Jean, and in this way you can create your own covers and give your signature sound to the covers that you want to do, so you can stand out in the cover world I think so. So that's it. In terms of mixing, it's very simple, as you can see. And also what I did was select everything and send it to the mix track. So if I delete this one here, you will not listen anything. And what I did also was to add some auxiliary reverb. And doing that, I select like this and added here some reverb. I cut down the low frequencies, and also I want to cut. I saw a tip from Dave Pensado that he said that he cut it a lot of he rolled off a lot of high frequencies from the reverb, and I think I like that. I can do even like this, and I use this reverb, which is free, Epic Verb. If I'm not mistaken, the classic plate or the small concert plate, I'm not sure which one was. And here I just added a touch of parallel or auxiliary reverb to give a more some depth to the mix. You have to be really careful to listen to the effect of the auxiliary reverb. And then here in the master I used parametric EQ to cut the low frequencies and a little bit of the highs. I use this Fabric TDS, which is free also. Here in the dynamics to have maybe around -3 dBs, and the saturation also to give me -3. And then the Maximus, I use this as a stereo separation plugin. I know that is more powerful than that, but that's how I use it. I use the low band, and I put the stereo separation all the way to the mono, and the mid and the highs a little bit wide and open. And I use this one here, limiter number 6, with a preset called master 1, and then I adjust the values so that I have around 1 dB of compression here in the main compressor, and then here in the peak limiter again between 0 and 2 dBs of compression. Here in the high frequency limiter again the same thing, and just a touch of compression here in the clipper so that the sound doesn't so that we don't squeeze the dynamic of the sound. Probably you could do a lot more EQ and compression to this sound to make it better, and also in the master chain, but this is not the idea. I just think it sounds nice, and if it sounds nice, I don't want to mess it. So again, going to the same thing of less is more, and that's it. And I have here this one here because I like to master in mono, and then enable or disable the mono to have a full width of the stereo signal. And that's it. I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.